Good morning. This is your daily weather briefing. Seeing a continuation of plenty of sun out there this morning. Had seen those temperatures warming up into the upper 30s at this time, and just a slight breeze out of the north continuing around the area. Should see a fairly quiet and chilly weather day ahead, and we'll see dry weather as we move through today and tomorrow, with a better chance of rain moving through with a strong frontal boundary as we move through today. On Wednesday, it's going to bring some rain showers as well as a chance for some thunderstorms, possibly some strong to severe thunderstorms, and we'll see some very windy conditions during the day on Wednesday as well. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, high pressure control over the eastern part of the country, that's going to keep things quiet, and then that high pressure will move off to the east as a strong area of low pressure develops over the center of the country. Between that, we'll put a tight pressure gradient over our region, and that's going to start to crank those winds up as we move late Tuesday and into the day on Wednesday. Looking at the upper level winds from this morning's sounding, had some fairly light winds near the surface, picking up in speed as we go up through the column, becoming northwesterly, and our peak wind of 106 knots was at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level this morning was at the surface. Looking at the current visible satellite, we can see there's mostly clear skies across the area. That 12,000 foot cloud layer that was around earlier this morning has since faded away and moving off to the east. So again, plenty of sun out there as we move through the day today. If we look at the high resolution model, see how we go through the next 2 to 3 days. Again, dry weather will prevail as we move through the day today and into tomorrow. We will see some increase in clouds as we move through the day on Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy at times, and then we'll see similar conditions as we go overnight into Wednesday. We will see some slightly breezy conditions tomorrow, but we should stay below that wind advisory criteria. But as we go through the overnight hours into Wednesday, we will see the winds really start to crank up, with a chance of seeing a wind advisory as soon as Tuesday evening or early hours of Wednesday. And then as we go into the day on Wednesday, wind advisory will be likely, as we will have a good chance of seeing strong wind gusts, possibly up to 40 to 45 miles per hour. And then as some of that shower activity moves into the area, again, a chance of a shower in the morning, but most likely the rain will hold off until we get into the afternoon as the bulk of the shower activity pushes through, mainly during the mid to later afternoon and into the evening. As you see, good coverage here with the shower activity and some stronger simulated reflectivities in there, indicating the possibility for a stronger storm within this activity. The Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk for some severe weather potential, so that possibility is there, mainly with some stronger gusts. Again, any stronger storm could see gusts up to 50 miles per hour with a stronger storm as it pushes through, going into the evening time frame here, with those winds really cranking up. And then the boundary itself, the cold front itself, will arrive as we move through the overnight time. So zooming out, looking at the European model here, we'll see that shower activity continues to push through, and the boundary itself pushes through during the early morning hours of Thursday. That's going to bring in some more seasonable air as we move into the end of the week, staying fairly breezy for Thursday, and then dropping down to slightly breezy as we move into Friday. But we will see conditions drying out and things becoming fairly quiet as we move through the remainder of the work week. Going into the weekend, do have some uncertainty, not a lot of confidence with the exact timing, but it does look like we could see a disturbance moving through as we go into the day on Saturday. Seeing some disagreement with the modeling here, with some models looking a bit drier with this disturbance moving through. So we will see a slight chance of rain on Saturday. Again, not a ton of confidence in that this time. Similar as we move into the day on Sunday. Again, an area low pressure looks to track mainly to our south, but there are some indications with some modeling that this tracks a bit further north and brings some of this precip up into the local area. So we will see a slight chance of precip around the area for Sunday, but again, likely seeing this forecast change as we get some better agreement with the modeling as we move into the weekend. But you can see there a bit of a cool down as we get towards the end of the 7-day forecast here, with these thickness values lowering a bit into the end of the weekend. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, looking at green conditions across the board for our weather today, we'll see our high temperature up around 43 this afternoon. We'll keep those winds out of the west-northwest to westerly around 5 to 10 knots with some peak gusts up around 15 knots. And then we'll see those winds becoming southerly and quite light as we go through the overnight time frame. Fairly seasonable for our temperature through the night this evening with a low around 31 degrees, and we'll see some milder temperatures moving in as we start the day on Tuesday with that south wind picking up slightly as we get into the start of the day. Tides are running normal overall as we move into the evening. We'll see a few mid-level clouds and high-level clouds building into the area as we set up for partly cloudy conditions on Tuesday. So Tuesday, partly to mostly cloudy conditions at times. We'll see slightly breezy conditions, but right now looking like green conditions for our weather risk. A milder day with a high of 54 degrees. Will stay mild as we go into Tuesday evening. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy conditions continue, and we'll see breezy conditions developing as those winds really start to ramp up through the overnight hours. We do have a yellow risk for possibly seeing some winds above 25 knots as we move through the early morning hours of Wednesday, and then by the time we get into Wednesday, we'll see those winds really becoming quite strong and gusty, so we will likely see a wind advisory throughout the day on Wednesday. Do have that red risk for that wind advisory and also red for our precip, as we'll see those maybe a chance of a rain shower during the morning, but most likely we'll see rain becoming likely as we get into the middle part of the afternoon and continuing into the evening time frame. And again, we'll see a chance of a thunderstorm, so we do have a yellow risk for lightning within the area. Again, that Storm Prediction Center does have us under a slight risk for the potential of some severe thunderstorms pushing through, so there is the possibility of seeing a stronger thunderstorm. I do expect windy conditions with gusts up to 45 miles per hour, and again, if we do see one of those stronger storms pushing through, we could possibly see wind gusts up to around 50 miles per hour as we move through the day on Wednesday. So otherwise, a mild day with a high of 59 degrees. And as we look at the extended forecast here again, ending quietly as we move through the remainder of the work week, we'll see decreasing clouds around from Thursday into Friday. Breezy conditions remaining on Thursday, slightly breezy as we move into Friday. Temperatures staying in the 50s, the low to mid 50s for our highs, and in the 30s for our lows. So back to fairly seasonable or just above average. And then as we go into Saturday, it does look like we'll see some milder temperatures on Saturday with a high around 58 degrees. And then we'll see that cool down as we move into Sunday with our our highs back into the 40s with that cooler air moving through. Looking at about a 20% chance of precip for Saturday and 15% chance for Sunday. Again, some uncertainty there, but it does look like we might see a disturbance moving through during the day on Saturday, and then possibly watching that area of low pressure to our south, seeing if it inches its way a bit further north as we move into the day on Sunday. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.